Welcome to Chapter 3 class. Professor Perkins here, and I just want to encourage all of you to keep working hard. You're making great progress. You are now on to the second unit, and I am rooting for you. So always remember, however I can be of help to you, make sure you make contact with your questions or anything that you need for me to be doing to help you be successful. What we're going to do in this video is we are going to look at what to do when you have written statements and symbolic statements that involve three simple statements. And specifically, what do we do in order to identify statements that may be grouped together? So on your screen, you see the following instructions. We are going to write the following compound statement symbolically. And the statement is this: we can watch the Gators play, or we will not stay home, comma, and we will not eat out. So the first thing I want to direct your attention to in this video is this comma. This comma in the statement is very important mathematically. And so I'm circling it in yellow so that we will remember that, and I will mention more about that in a little while. So before we can write this symbolically, what I want to do is I want to write down what my simple statements involved are. And as you progress through chapter 3 and you do things like create truth tables and create arguments and show if they're valid or invalid or determine if statements are equivalent, it's going to be super important for you to be able to go through this process of writing a written statement symbolically. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to notice I've got three simple statements joined together. So I am going to define a statement P. I'm going to define a statement Q, and I'm going to define a statement R. And so going through and reading, I see that we have the first statement: we can watch the Gators play. Go Gators. So that is going to be my statement P. So we can watch the Gators play. The second statement is we will not stay home. Now, little reminder about your simple statements. Whenever we define simple statements, we define them positively. We will go back later and we will add the negation symbolically. So while this statement says we will not stay home, the statement Q that we are going to define is we will stay home. We are going to leave out the word not. And the same thing for this last statement: we will not eat out. Again, there is the word not within the statement. So when I define my simple statement R, I am going to leave that out. We will eat out. All right. Now we have everything we need to write this statement that is given to us in words symbolically. So the first statement, we can watch the Gators play, that is simply statement P. So I'm going to write down a P. Then I see the word or represents the disjunction, and the symbol for that is the upside down caret, or it looks kind of like a V. The next statement is we will not stay home. So again, we defined Q to be we will stay home. So to say we will not stay home, I am going to write a squiggly in front of my Q. That is the symbol for the negation. Now, we come to this place where I see the comma that I circled earlier. Commas in logic mean that statements are being grouped together. So you notice on the left-hand side of the comma, I've got two simple statements joined together. So what that comma is telling me is I need to put parentheses around those because they have been grouped together. If there was more than one simple statement to the right of the comma, I would use parentheses on that side of the comma as well. So continuing on, I see I have the word and means the conjunction, and so I am going to use the caret to denote that operation. And last but not least, we have the statement we will not eat out. Again, R was defined positively to be we will eat out, so I am going to put a squiggle in front of my R So squiggly R means we will not eat out. And that is our original statement in words written symbolically. The next thing that we are going to do is just the reverse process. We are going to take the simple statements that are already defined for us to save us a little time, and we're going to write the following symbolic statement in words. So I've got three simple statements. Statement P is the house is for sale. Statement Q is we can afford the house. And statement R is the house has a garage. So you can notice the compound statement that I have given to us to look at is if P then Q. I've got a conditional statement inside the parentheses. I'm just going to underline it right there. Remember, the parentheses mean that I am grouping, and so I have to keep in mind that when I do write this in words, I'm going to need to put a comma there. So let's go ahead and do this. So inside the parentheses, I've got a conditional statement. The words associated with that conditional statement are if then. So I have the P first. So I am going to write if the house is for sale, then we have statement Q, we can afford the house. Now, I need to let people know that those two statements were grouped together. That's what the parentheses tell me, so I am going to put a comma after those. That means those statements on the left are grouped. And now I see that I have my conjunction symbol, the caret, and so I can use the word and. You could also use the word but or the word however. All of those mean the conjunction. And then I have a tilde or a squiggly in front of my R. And so statement R is the house has a garage. So I'm going to write and the house does not have a garage. You don't have to underline the word not. I just did that for emphasis so that you would see the negation that I added. And that is how to convert symbolic statements into words and statements given in words into symbols. Do well on your homework. Remember, if you need me, reach out to me. I'm here to help.